Welcome to this week's episode of The Second Scoop. I'm Chris Cheng, here to give you this week's big gun news. In our lead-off story, Defense Distributed, who creates the Ghost Gunner CNC machine that completes 80% lowers, has filed a federal lawsuit alongside the Second Amendment Foundation, arguing about 3D printing files that were uploaded to the web 2 years ago. The State Department told Defense Distributed that they had to pull the files off the web, but not before tons of other websites had copied and uploaded these files to their own servers. The files were essentially blueprints around how to create 3D guns. And so what's interesting about this lawsuit is that they're filing against the First, Second, and Fifth Amendments, saying that their rights have been violated. And so the big question here is a blueprint, which is simply information and data around how to create a firearm using a 3D printer, is that considered free speech? And is it protected under free speech? And then does the Second Amendment cover the manufacturing of firearms by an individual? And with the Fifth Amendment due process claim, has the government been tossing Defense Distributed around through a bureaucratic back and forth and making it really unclear and murky as to the legality of their actions? This is going to be a lawsuit to keep your eye on for this year and maybe next year and forever, how long this lawsuit will continue. The Second Scoop will be keeping an eye on this and will report out any significant developments. In our second story, UPS has abruptly announced that they will stop shipping suppressors, and this is without any notification or any evidence or any announcement as to why they have stopped these shipments. UPS hasn't reported any thefts or any problems with suppressor shipments, and so it's curious why UPS has decided, without any sort of explanation, to stop shipping suppressors in the United States. The NRA and the National Shooting Sports Foundation, as well as the American Suppressors Association, are working with UPS to reinstate the shipment of suppressors. The National Shooting Sports Foundation is quoted as saying, "We strongly urge all Second Amendment advocates not to jump to conclusions about UPS." What I suspect is happening is that the firearms industry doesn't want public pressure yet so that UPS can focus on the conversation and the negotiations. However, if this conversation goes poorly and UPS doesn't reverse their stance, then I would anticipate that the floodgates of criticism will open up, and it's not going to be a very, very fun experience for UPS. In this week's story of a good guy with a gun takes us to New Holland, Wisconsin, where a few weeks ago a crazed man drove up to a fire station and started shooting a gun into the air at his car and also was pointing his gun at individual firefighters. 2 firefighters, however, had concealed carry permits. They drew their weapons and held the crazed man at bay while the police arrived and arrested and detained the crazed individual. The firefighters are on record as stating that they believe that their concealed carry permits saved not only one life but multiple lives. And thankfully, this incident didn't result in a mass shooting. And thanks to these 2 firefighters for preventing a tragedy. And once again, as the saying goes, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Finally, our video of the week takes us to YouTube, where the late Boy Scout shoots a double-barreled 1911 from Arsenal Firearms. As if a single-barreled 1911 pistol wasn't awesome enough, take a look at this unique double-barrel design. Boy, I'd love to get my hands and shoot this puppy. But check out this YouTube video by the late Boy Scout to see how it shoots. Well, that does it for yet another week's episode of The Second Scoop. Don't forget to subscribe on the new YouTube channel for The Second Scoop, and you can also subscribe on Carbon TV. I'm Chris Cheng for The Second Scoop. Thanks for watching.